What's up, fight fans? And we are back at it with
Another one.
that's right. How y'all doing out there today? Let's talk about it. We ain't shying away from this. The Subriel Matais and Liam Paro and what I think about it. We're gonna be breaking down the Tank Davis fight, also the Gary Antron Russell fight. So if you enjoy boxing and you love learning more about boxing and this live chat, tune in, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell notification icon. It'll alert you when the next time I go live. So let me set up here. Let me know that you can hear me loud and clear while you're coming into the live stream. I want to see where y'all at. I got to see if I can hear myself here. I got to see if I can hear myself here. Good. Now I can, yeah, that's good. Well, as soon as y'all start joining in the live stream, they start sending out my notifications. We're going to get into this. Let me see if I can just push this to the side. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And then I'll put this up here. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Word up. So now we got everything going here. Just waiting for y'all to start joining in. Well, that's good. Well, Subriel Matias and Liam Paro fought in Puerto Rico. It was a good fight. Many spectators before and after, gave their opinions. And like always in a fight, there's a winner and a loser in a fight. And I cover boxing, so I don't have a horse in the race. But a lot of people will come out and have things to say about Subriel Matias, such as now you're going to see that Subriel Matias falls back into obscurity and that his fans are not going to support him no more. That's just nonsense talk. There's might have been a lot of people that backpedaled or then said that he was not the boogeyman. No, he was who he was. He had a bad night. And all fighters are entitled to a bad night. Shakur Stevenson had a really bad night, but he was able to pull off the victory because his dancing partner didn't do nothing neither. You see? So there's fighters that, yes, are entitled to a bad night. I believe Subriel Matias uh, gave into the night a little more than what he should have. And I think that this time he thought too much about the night. He's fought in Puerto Rico before, but not like this. And I don't think he could calm himself down from just wanting the fight to be over with and him being awarded the winner. But the OBS reconnected successful. Now it's like buffering over here. Hopefully, it's still streaming on the live. Yeah, it seems to be. So, look, I'm not gonna make any excuses for Subriel Matias. The fight went as followed. Um, Liam Paro came in there with a game plan, and he saw that when he needed to clinch, he clinched in the fight, and he held Subriel Matias. Um, and clinching is a part of boxing. Subriel Matias should have anticipated it, and his coach should have anticipated that Liam Paro was going to clinch. You know, eventually somebody was going to grab that man's hands on the inside. And the one thing that Liam Paro kept doing as well was spinning Subriel Matias in the fight. And he did a lot of good work in the fight. I can't take that away from Liam Paro. He came into Puerto Rico and he pulled off one of the biggest upsets of his career. Um, some of the things that make me feel that Subriel Matias' team was overly confident was that they didn't even put in a rematch clause. They didn't think it was necessary. That's overly confidence right there. Your management should have put in a rematch clause for you to protect their fighter, to guarantee him another shot at that. Now he's going to have to work himself back in, and he will. He will. Subriel Matias, a lot of fight fans are going to feel like he got exposed. And I don't feel like he got exposed. I just feel like he had a bad night. You exposed what? You know, there has been other fighters that had a jab and moved around and did not beat Subriel Matias. He figured that shit out. Tonight, on that night, he just didn't wake up. He didn't make the right adjustments. He didn't see the fight playing out. Rather than him just relying on stopping Liam Paro. He didn't make any adjustments really. And his jab was non existent. And Subriel Matias has a jab. He does. And it's a straight jab. It's a strong jab. He didn't even use it. And when he fought Pedro Ananya, uh, Subriel Matias worked off the jab and came in and worked off, his forward aggression. So it wasn't like, Subriel doesn't have one. He just, it was non existent in this fight. So as far as the fight itself, all right, Liam Paro won. And you can't take that away from him. Okay. But a lot of people are really getting down on Subriel Matias right now and calling him a fraud and all this other stuff and that he got exposed. But wait a minute. Tank Davis and Frank the Ghost Martin fought on the same night in Las Vegas, right? And out of all the reviews I've been watching online about Frank the Ghost Martin, he lost too. You know what they say about him? He did good until he didn't. He went in there, fought his heart out, fought a much bigger puncher, and came up short. That's what they say against Frank Martin and Tank Davis. But Subriel Matias, they say he was exposed. Bro, he lost the fight. He lost the fight. And he fought a bad way. And if you ask Subriel Matias, he didn't fight like himself. He really didn't. He didn't even look like himself. Yeah. Um, and just let's remember the last time Subriel Matias lost. What kind of carnage did he leave in his wake after that one loss? What did he do? He went on a 5 fight no mas streak, is what he did. He came back stronger than ever. I expect to see Subriel Matias come back as strong as ever. And I expect to see Subriel Matias either regain that IBF title or be, beat one of the other champions. Because now the other champions are going to feel like they can beat him. Like Liam Paro got the blueprint to beat Subriel Matias. Yes, Liam Paro did beat Subriel Matias. Yes, he did. But he had a little help as well. I think if they revisit that fight or even fight in Australia, because Subriel Matias would have to go out to Australia to fight him if he was granted the rematch. Liam Paro came out to his backyard, you got to go out to his. Yeah. And that would only be right, you know. And Subriel Matias would have to beat him under those conditions to re get his belt back and his get back too as well. So yeah, I can't see any of you guys' message because this shit is still buffering and I'm not quite sure. But IQ wins fights. It's good here. What's up, man? Yeah, man. Listen, look. Uh, Out of all the fights that took place on that night, right on June 15th, we had the card in Puerto Rico with Subriel Matias, right? And there were a lot of good fights on that card. In fact, Sergio. Look, before I get into those, David the Monster Benavides. I went back and I watched that fight. And when I was talking about it on my live stream, I had watched like the first 4 rounds of the fight. Then I said I would go back and watch the fight in its entirety. I saw where David the Monster Benavides struggled. And I talked to my brother about it, and he was telling me that he didn't look that good and his new weight. And I told my brother, I said, what you witnessed there, what you saw was glimpses of what David the Monster Benavides could look like in his new weight division in the first 4 rounds. That's what you saw. What you also saw was his body not acclimating to the division just yet. Okay. And they knew that. They knew that. That's why they had this guy coming down a weight and him going up a weight and meeting at the 175, right? So what you saw there was David the Monster Benavides get a rude awakening of how hard it is just to move up one weight division. Yeah, you might walk around that on that weight. You might fool around at that weight. But performing in that weight is a different story. That's a whole different ball game. And what you saw in that fight was David the Monster Benavides get like a second win later in the fight, and he started to come on again. You see, but in between that fourth round and all the way into the 10th, 11th round, he was vulnerable. He was being touched up, okay, and his technique started to fall. You see? And then that's when fighters start to realize, hey, this is tougher than what it seems. Just moving up one weight division. That's it's hard, you see? So what I told my brother was, yeah, but you did see how he fought in the first 4 rounds. That's where he needs to get adjusted to. That's where we call getting acclimated to the division and feeling comfortable and being able to perform all night at the same like you started the fight. You see? So that was just a prime example of that. You know, and then I went back and I watched the Gary Antoine Russell fight with Cortez. I'm look, I Gary Antoine Russell and the Russell family. I love them guys, right? Everything they stand for in boxing, they're, you know, themselves and everything, but they really have kind of a misconstrued perception of boxing. And I believe what it really takes to be on the next level. Like all of them have, and no disrespect to none of the Russells, but If you guys don't see this, right, someone needs to tell you that all of you still fight amateurish. Like you guys are like in 3 round fights, amateur boxing. All of them, they have this same amateur, and that's no disrespect to them. Is that that's how they're approaching boxing here. They've been taught so long that one way that I don't know if you can take it out of them because look at how long they've all been pros and that adjustment has not. They think that they're just going to overwhelm their opponent by a volume of punches, like overpower. That's what you do in the amateurs. That's what you do in 3 round fights. That's amateur boxing. The pros are more technical. You got a little bit more time to set up, to make reads, to make adjustments. And none of the Russells are really doing that. They talk like they do. All the Russells talk like if they're boxing geniuses. You ever hear them talk? I swear to God, they do. They're good. They're good. And I like them. I like the Russells. But what they're saying and how they're fighting is not adding up anymore. And the last one just got his O taken away. What they said was the best of the Russells because under the pretense that he hasn't lost, right? He fights a real boxing technician, and Gary Russell is like a puncher boxer, right? And this guy outsmarted him. He was slick with his shots, and he hit Russell with shots he didn't see, and he made him miss. And like when he made a miss big, and Antoine Russell, he's like looking at him like, okay, like yeah, 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 like giving him a nod, like you shouldn't be missing that big like that, and falling into the corner like that, turning around and like trying to find out where he is. Uh, his opponent used a lot of angles and really showed why he was a former world champion and what it really takes to become a world champion at that level. And if you were going to step up to the next level, this is what it was going to be like. And um, I believe that guy fought his best fight he fought up to date against Antoine Russell. And unfortunately, he got the best version of that guy. You know, um, all I saw was Russell try to like bully his way in and just use his volume of power punches to try to overwhelm him. And guess what? He knew how to deal with power and forward pressure. He knew how to deal with that. Uh, he was a seasoned vet, and it showed. Uh, Even when he was in some tough situations in a fight, his composure and his ability to box really showed in that fight. And he started to separate himself in the fight against Russell. And the judges got it right, in my opinion. Uh, you know, you could have seen it go um, a lot of different. Are we back? All right. Yeah. And I don't think that the Russell guy was exposed. What was Russell exposed on? The way he fights? He fought like that every fight. All the fights he's been in, he fought the same exact way. So how was he exposed? He just lost. That's all. He lost the fight. That's all. But yet they're gonna come out and say he was exposed for the fighter. He's not the boxer. He isn't. No, no, he really wasn't. His style didn't beat the next style, and styles make fights. Russell has to evolve. They have to start a lot learning how to adapt a more pro style boxing, and that comes with no disrespect. Please take this as constructive criticism, and that you guys look at it and be like, look, man, we know how to fight and we're tough, but we start have to adapt a more pro sense and a more technical and boxing style, and know how to when and where to pull the triggers on that to keep mentally focused. You know, a lot of people criticize Tank Davis as well for his level of opposition and opponents. And they try to say that Frank the Ghost Martin was his best challenge up to date. And I was trying to tell you guys, no, it's not. St. Davis has been battle tested better than Frank the Ghost Martin. But since Frank the Ghost Martin looked the part and he was a hell of a specimen, he's all ripped up, the muscles is popping, and that's what the people see. They were going to say, oh no, this is the guy. Ironically, Tank Davis told them leading into the fight, you're not ready for me. He told them the truth. He looked Frank Ghost Martin in the eyes and said, you shouldn't have took this fight right now. You could have waited until you got a little bit better to take this fight. They talked you into this fight. And now you're going to get this ass whooping because you weren't ready. But he told them. And that's Tanks Davis's ring IQ. He knows what level he's on, you know. And awkwardly enough, the best challenge he ever had was Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, to tell you the truth. And Ryan Garcia wasn't like your most skilled boxer. His awkward style, his height, and his speed presented the kind of problems that a lot of fighters, Ryan Garcia brought something to the equation. And he brought some serious shit. And he had a punch. That's problems. That's something Tank Davis had to work around. You had Tank Davis thinking. You had him a little nervous too at times, And even though like fighters like Leo Santa Cruz was fucking banging with Tank. He just didn't have enough behind his punch to really back Tank up. Tank in that big ass melon of his, he could take a punch, bro. He could take a shot and keep going in. The one thing that I think that Tank Davis is, they don't really give him a lot of credit for is his fucking accuracy, his ability to find his opponent's chin. Yeah, man. Tank is accurate as fuck, bro. And with them unorthodox punches, bro, he'll hit you from angles you didn't think you can get hit from. You think you're safe in a sequence with Tank, and he's fucking hitting you with shots like you're like, where the fuck that come from? That shot he hit, it was like a slip, stop, boop, boop. It was like a knuckleball. It was like, yip, yip, boop, and found Frank's chin. The angle that he's throwing these shots at, and with the kind of torque and power behind the shot, he shouldn't be doing that, but he is. He is. And I'm just like, wow, you know, I'm I'm amazed at how good Tank Davis really is. And until we get him in those rings with those level guys, right? Which like a Lomachenko, right? That could be a unification right there, right? Okay. A lot of people say, "Oh, Lomachenko don't got enough power to back up Tank Davis," and I'm like, "What the fuck are you guys talking about? That's Lomachenko right there. Lomachenko is knocking everybody the fuck out. He was being called the Matrix because he was spinning around people. His footwork is like superior. And Loma is a great boxer. He has an iffy guard. He has like an amateurish guard too. You can get to him at the body, right? But if you want to stand there and try to move around with Loma and just box, you might be in trouble. Loma was, but There was one thing Loma didn't realize, and a lot of people did not realize about Devin Haney. If you didn't box him and you use brute force and power, he doesn't do well against power. I just recently saw the whole sparring match against Tank Davis and Devin Haney when Devin Haney was like younger and shit, right? And I saw it nonstop with no cuts, right? And Tank Davis beat the shit out of him. He beat the shit out of Devin Haney. Devin Haney did nothing to Tank Davis in that sparring match. And I understand it's sparring and shit, but I thought that when people were talking about it, that Devin Haney did something in that sparring match. I don't know what they're seeing with their eyes. I saw every punch that Devin Haney landed, Tank Davis gave to him. Tank Davis was just allowing him to do what he wanted until he wanted to sun him. Then when Tank Davis was started to step on the gas, bro, Tank Davis was fighting four people in that sparring match. He was fighting Floyd Mayweather that grabbed his hand in the match. Yeah, I saw the tape, right? Yeah, I'm intervening at times, yelling to Tank to take it easy, to not to kill Devin Haney, right? He when Tank Davis rocked Devin Haney and Devin Haney was staggering in it, Adrian Broner jumped in the ring and halted the action as well, right? It was a lot of times they saved young ass Devin Haney in that fight. And when Devin Haney was like somewhat like the biggest shot he got, Tank Davis was talking to somebody and he just let him hit him. Nothing Devin Haney was doing was gonna hurt him until he like got tired of everyone stepping in when he was doing good work. Tank Davis saw that everybody was basically against him. And he was like, man, I'm done with this shit. That's exactly what happened. You can play the tape. We can watch it together. Devin Haney didn't do nothing to Tank. And when in the video, what I took away from was the fact that whenever Tank Davis had went forward pressure with aggression and power, Devin Haney couldn't deal with it, not even back then. And that should have been a red flag. I don't know how no one caught that. Had I watched that video, because I didn't really give two fucks about sparring videos. Sparring is sacred. You're not supposed to be recording sparring and putting it out on social media because whatever you do in sparring, that's not fight night. You can't emulate fight night in sparring. You don't got your family in the crowd, everybody yelling, all that shit. You're not, you got headgear, 16-ounce gloves on. You don't got no 8-ounce gloves on. You're not emulating fight night. It's way different. Plus, you and him are probably working on shit. And that one right there, that kind of sparring match was just pure aggression. There was no feeling out process or nothing like that. So you can't really take that from sparring. But some people will watch that video and take shit out of it, like buy into it. Oh no, this is what happens if they, boom. Nah, 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 nah. But there was homework to be done when you saw that. And you saw that Devin Haney didn't do good under pressure. Yeah. In fact, in any of his situations, wherever the fighter applied pressure like that to him, he never did good with it. The fact that Ryan Garcia knew that and he just used blunt force with some speed, Devin Haney couldn't recuperate. He never recovered from that first shot, actually, you know. But if you ask me, he should have never got caught with that first shot. Leading into the fight, the entire fight, all you preach was all you are is a left check hook. And the first sequence, he catches you with the left check hook. What the fuck were you working on? What were you working on? You knew his punch. What was your defense to block that punch? What were you working on? Obviously, nothing. You just knew what he was going to throw, and you thought you were going to adjust to it. You didn't get anybody, any of your sparring partners to throw a check hook as fast as him, like him. None of that. What was you working on? That's all. So, yeah. Salud, Coqui, what's up? That should be next. Gary Antoine Russell against Subriel is a perfect fight. It's a perfect fight. Both of them coming off losses, right? Both of them needing a big win. Both of them have fairly big names in the sport. It would be an exciting fight. Uh, in a good world, would the Russell take the fight? Now, he had a lot to say about a lot of other boxers coming into his matchup. He had a lot. He got on social media and he really criticized people's fighting techniques and styles. He gave his assessment on what he believed on other fighters. So since he's really good at giving his opinion, well then he should be just as good as taking a big next fight. He said that Subriel was actually the weakest champion in the division coming off this loss. Hey, that kind of makes you right, right? Didn't Subriel get exposed according to you? So he should be easy to beat. You should take that fight. He needs a strong comeback. Yes, he does. The fact that his management didn't secure him, um, the rematch clause in his contract, that was just a fumble, if you ask me. Now Subriel's looking at it like, man, my management didn't even put in a rematch clause to protect me and my title just in case I lose. He this could have been a mandatory thing. Now Liam Paro just walked off with your belt and he doesn't have to ever fight you again. He could avoid your phone calls. He don't have to. You gave him a shot. You gave Liam Paro a shot. Liam Paro should give you a shot back. That would be the honorable and noble thing to do. He gave you a shot at your first world title, Liam Paro. He made your dreams come true. Now give him a shot back at his money. That's like us shooting dice and you get me for my 100. Yo, let me run that back. Give me a shot to win it back. If I lose, all right, I lose. Right? But let me get a shot, right? But his Subriel's team didn't protect him. And that's where I was like, man, that was a mistake right there, bro. You gotta admit that was a mistake. Yeah, yeah, it was. But I know good, bad, or indifferent, Subriel Matias will be champion again. Yes, he will. He will. Mark my words. I'll stand on that. I'll stand on that. You know what I'm saying? I'll put my credibility on the line on this one. Yes, I will. Subriel Matias will be champion again. Yes, he will. He's gonna fucking come out with a vengeance. I guarantee it. I put everything I believe in on it. He's gonna do good. All right. I think that all the fights from here on in are gonna be not an easy fight for him. This is what we talk about when you step up in the levels of competition. Subriel Matias did not fight a tomato can. I try to tell you guys that the entire time. Wasn't I not? I kept saying it. Yo, Liam Paro's a live dog. Liam Paro's not a bum. These guys are all fighting these other bums, and everybody's saying that these guys are bum, and they try to criticize Liam Paro. They're saying, oh, Matias is fighting Liam Paro. Who the fuck is Liam? Bro, and I said, Liam Paro is a world champion, undefeated champion. He was a WBO global champion, right? And I said it. I said it. I said it. I said, yo, Liam Paro is not a cab driver. I told you guys that. And I also said that I never saw Liam Paro work around a guy like Subriel Matias that had a lot of pressure, forward press. But we didn't see that version of Subriel. And the reason why we didn't see that version of Subriel, because Liam Paro kind of shut that shit down. He kind of did. Um, Whether or not Subriel was caught up in the moment, that's not for Liam Paro to decide. Liam Paro was there to do a job, and he did it. And a lot of people was like, Liam was clinching. Well, clinching's part of boxing. And if it stops him from firing off on you like that, until the referee says something, then fucking clinch, bro. You know what I mean? The referee was supposed to be intervene on that. And I think the referee lost himself in the fight as well, paying attention too much to seeing if Liam grabbed behind the head, that he wasn't even watching the clinching, you know. But Liam Paro didn't clinch all night. He clinched when he needed to. Yeah, he boxed all night. That's what Liam Paro did. He boxed all night. And Subriel Matias was banking on the fact that he was going to break him down. But he got to the 12th round and there was no more rounds left. His time ran out. He should have stepped on the gas earlier and saw the urgency and cut off the ring better. For it being such a small ring, I expected Subriel Matias to cut off the ring a lot better and get him to stop running. But Liam Paro's legs held up for 12 rounds, and Liam Paro's skills and his chin also held up for 12 rounds. Because Liam Paro took some shots from Subriel. Yes, he did. I saw it. I was there, front row, right there. I was looking at it. I was like, damn, he took some big shots. And there was moments in the fight that I thought he was breaking Liam Paro down. And I was like, oh, Liam Paro just wobbled to his corner in the last 10 seconds of that round. And I was like, oh, he's getting to him. Then he was like a little energizer bunny. He would get up, little surge of energy, and go right back to work. Gang, 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 gang. Listen, he fought a smart fight. He's fought a smart fight. And Subriel's going to learn from this. He's going to learn from this. And I know, I just know it. I just know he's going to come back stronger than ever, and he will be champion again. Yes, he will. What's up, guys? There you guys are. All right, my man. How you doing in the building? You see, I was in Puerto Rico working on my tan. You know what I'm saying? You're like, who the hell's that guy? You know what I mean? It's me, brother. It's me. I just got a tan. You know what I mean? Yo. It's crazy because I saw Gary Antoine take a loss that what? Day two. It was a crazy day. Yeah, it was a crazy day in sports, you know. But yet they're gonna be like, Gary Antoine Russell was exposed and shit. No, he was not exposed. No, he was not. He fought the same way every fucking time. Styles make fights, and that style beat his style of boxing. That's it. He wasn't exposed. He fought the same way. You know, it just that, like I said, they all the brothers, all of them, they just have this amateurish style of fighting in pro boxing. Yeah, they do. Where that they think that forward aggression and just power of volume is going to overwhelm their opponent. That's what you do in the amateurs in 3 round fights. That's the style you fight. In a pro setting, you have to be more calculated, a little patient, sometimes not so patient, and learn how to set up your punches, work off your jab, change it up, change the levels, and use angles in a pro setting of fighting. Um, he fought. He's been fighting this way the entire time. How can you say that man was exposed? No, he just got beat. That's all. He just lost. I can agree to that. But exposing him? No. What did you expose? He fought a good fight. Gary Antoine Russell actually fought a good fight. The other guy just fought a better fight. That's it. But they got no problem. It's quick to go, oh, he was exposed and try to shit on that guy. No, they've been like that the entire time. All the brothers, they've been like that the entire time, and they need to start to adapt a more pro mindset in boxing. That's not the way you can always, it worked for them until it's not no more, because now their level of competition is going up, and that's what's happening. That's what you're seeing with the Russells. That's why they're losing. They're all athletically talented. They can all fight. They just need slight adjustments in their fight game. That's all. George Martinez, what's up? I think Eddie is learning, leaning towards a Regis fight for Matias next. That was rumored before this loss. That was the fight that they were gonna make. Shall he pass Liam Paro? Right? And then he was going to fight Regis Progress. And Regis Progress was willing to fight Subriel Matias. Why? Because he had a belt. Now he don't got no belt. I'm not sure if he would take the fight. I don't know. That's up to him. Matias will fight again in November. It was much clinching by Paro. Didn't want Matias smoked. That was an intelligent clinch, don't you think? Why would you let that kind of man fire off on you? That's what him and his coach worked on. That was part of his game plan, to take that away from Subriel Matias. What do you do in a fight? You got to take away the guy you're fighting against, some of his best qualities and traits that makes him a dominant fighter. You clinch with Subriel Matias, that took a lot of his fight out of him, didn't it? It didn't let him set up. It didn't let him fire off and get all the damage that he's usually typically on his opponents. Liam Paro took that shit away and was peppering him, frustrating him, and moving with his legs all night. Liam Paro didn't stand in front of Subriel Matias too long. When he did, he was working. And when he wasn't, he was out of the way. And then when Subriel came in, he would clinch and spin him around. And when he would spin him around, he would do good work off the spin. And then Subriel would do that little shuffle and try to like come back in just to walk right into Liam Paro's 1-2. And that was the fight. That was the fight in a nutshell right there. Yeah, there was a lot of clinching, brother. There was. But at the same time, it's part of the sport. And Subriel Matias's corner and coaches should have anticipated something like that, and should have came up with their own game plan to counter that, and not be able to let Liam Paro just clinch you at will. Subriel should have framed out from Liam Paro like Liam Paro was doing to Subriel. The one good thing that Liam Paro was doing well, and I said this, I have receipts on my other video. Um, just like I love Subriel Matias, but I'm not biased here. I also tell you a game plan of what I believe it would take to defeat him, and exactly what he did. It was like he was listening to what I said. Oh, you gotta frame him. You gotta use your elbow to keep him a word, bro. Anyone want to call me out on it, a liar? Because I will fucking go pull it, chop it up, and make a video about it. All right, because it's a fact. That's exactly what I said. It's not that I want anyone to lose or win. I'm covering boxing. I have to give you insight on how to beat a boxer. Are we back? Jesus. Let me see if I can do this real quick. All right. See if this helps. All right. All right. Hopefully, yeah, it just connected. Hopefully that helps. I forgot that I had my Ethernet cord connected to my PlayStation and shit. So I just connected it straight up now. Hopefully it'll give it a better feed and we won't get disconnected again. Or if that's the OBS software. About Naoya Inoue news. Well, Naoya Inoue is ordered to fight Akmandalia, MJ, because Goodman didn't take the fight. Goodman decided that he would need a tune-up fight, and which, since he passed and he was the number one in both belts, the next organization in line was the WBA. And the WBA number one ranked opponent was Akmadalia when he won that title eliminator. And so he automatically got pushed up to the forefront. And as we all know, with Naoya Inoue is the type of champion that can't fight any tune-up fights. He can't do it. He needs maximum motivation and maximum opponent. He needs the highest quality opponent you have for him. That's what he wants. Naoya Inoue wants all the smoke, everything, and then some. Yeah, he's the type of dude that is like beating up little bros and saying, "Go get your big brother, because I'll fuck him up too." That's Naoya Inoue. He's not playing any games. There's not any doubt or anything. And I told y'all about this Japanese dude. Keep running your mouth about him, right? He was gonna spin the block. Akmadalia, all them dudes that was like, "Oh yeah, he's running from me." He's running from you? Okay. I told you guys, get yourself in position. Get yourself, you can't get any belts because he's greedy. He got them all. So you can't get a belt to entice him because there's only one king in any division he seems to be walking in, and it's him. That's it. There's no, oh, I think this guy's better because he's the WBA champion, or I think the WBO champion is better than you because he's the only champion. There's no confusion in his weight division. There's him and then you guys. That's it. Naoya Inoue weight division. If you're not familiar, get familiar. That's his division, right? And all these guys that talked about, oh, you know what? I'll fuck up that Japanese dude. I got the blueprint for him. Every one of them. And this, the beautiful thing about him as a champion, he definitely takes care of business. And he's definitely in the sport of boxing. He shows you he's not afraid to go inside and mix it up. And when doing so, he even got caught and was dropped for the first time in his career against Luis Pantera Nari. But that's because he's inside mixing it up. He ain't running in the ring. He ain't clinching. He's not hiding. He's in your face. And there will be opportunities where you can hit him. There's just one problem. You're going to have to finish him. You're going to have to make sure he stays down if ever you put him down. Now, Oya Inoue showed the champion he truly is. He is truly something special. When he got up off that ground, it wasn't like Devin Haney getting up when Ryan Garcia dropped him, right? It showed that Naoya Inoue is who he says and who they say he is. He is truly a monster. From that moment, Luis Pantera Nari did not win a single second of any part of that fight from the moment he scored that knockdown. That's truly remarkable because typically when you see a guy go down, don't we have a fight on our hands? If the guy happens to get up, right? Don't we got a fight on our hands? We usually see two guys exchanging, and if the other guy was to happen to come back, it would have been because they battled. Ironically, in this situation, he gets dropped and he doesn't lose another moment in the fight, and the guy never wins another moment from his moment. He never won another second in that fight. So when these guys are calling him out, right, I understand why. Naoya Inoue fight for the little guys, the division, and the type of money they make, that's their lottery fight. That's their lottery fight. Naoya Inoue is not making the kind of money Tank Davis is making, straight up. Tank Davis making his what is this? His seventh consecutive pay-per-view fight, in a row. We're gonna Yo, we back? Yeah, we back. If Top Rank and Akmadalia's promotional company can't come to an agreement, it goes to a purse bid, and then we'll see what happens from there. But Top Rank ain't fucking that up, so more than likely, where the fight's gonna be held and all that information will start to get breaking down. But Akmadalia has the WBA has ordered Naoya Inoue to fight him, or he would be stripped of the WBA title. And you're not stripping Naoya Inoue of nothing. He's not that type of champion. And Naoya Inoue accepts all number one challenges. He believes that if you fought to be the number one guy, well, then damn it, you deserve your shot. I shouldn't be fighting a guy two weight divisions up, bringing one guy up from another division, fighting some YouTube sensation guy. He ain't doing none of that shit. He's only fighting the number one guys. Who's next? Who deserves a shot? That's who he's fighting. Fucking true champion shit right there. There's just no controversy in his championship run. You could say whatever you want. Oh, he dug this guy or went that. He didn't dug no one. There isn't one boxer Naoya Inoue ever ducked in his career. You want to know what happened? They fucking lost their belts. They weren't in position when the Naoya Inoue train was going by. And just because it passed them, they want to say he ducked them. Nah, he didn't duck. You weren't good enough to be in his way. That's what happened. If Casamera, Akmadalia, MJ himself were that good, then Akmadalia shouldn't have lost his opportunity to Marlon Tapales. And Casamera shouldn't have lost his belts. But yet, let them tell it. Oh, he dug so and so. Oh, he dug this guy. He didn't fight all the number one guys in this. Those weren't his plans. And Naoya Inoue was like a fucking freight train just flying through. He didn't have time to please everyone, clean out every weight division. He's only one guy. You want him to be this Superman. He made a lot of right decisions. Apparently, he fought everybody he needed to, and look where he's at in his career. Look at what he's accomplishing. He's about to defend all four belts a second time. How many men boxers did that if he's successful? I'm not going to put the cart before the horse, but if he pulls that off, now we're going to start to look back through the halls of history to look up any man that ever in a three belt era or a four belt era who did that. Who has done some shit like that? And how far is he going to go? So I saw that he was in New York City. He was at the fight and he was watching Boo Boo Schuster Carrington, right? Carrington, after the victory, he bows to Naoya Inoue. Naoya Inoue got up, walked out, didn't even watch the Xander Zion fight. It's not what he's there for, right? That's the future. That's what the future looks like. I want to see what the future looks like, hits like. How smart is he? What does he do in some boxing situations? Naoya Inoue was watching Bruce. He was just watching him like this with his popcorn. And I tell you, when he got up and walked away, it's hard to read Naoya Inoue, but he didn't look impressed. But he always looks like that, right? He always has that. And now he's starting to really come together as a fighter and give himself credit. When they asked him, who do you think is the number one fighter now? And he said, respectfully, I have to say myself. Then Terrence Crawford. Now, now his tune is starting to change. Now Inoue is starting to take the position in boxing he rightfully deserves. He deserves that number one spot all around. Yeah. More activity, better knockouts, better reign as a champion. He's just doing better shit. Overall, he's just better. So, yeah. What's up, Armando? How you doing, brother? He has to eat a little humble pie, Matias. You know, every fighter on a loss like this, and after all that shit talking, you got to eat a little humble pie. That's okay. That's expected. That's expected. Yeah. Nah, he's not going up to 147. In the interview that I interviewed him, that I put up um, on my videos, you can check it out. I asked him, and in fact, there's other people in separate different interviews asking Subriel Matias if he would move up to 147, and he denied. He declined all that. He said his eyes are not set on 147 at all. He has no ambition on going to 147. He wants to stay at 140. He feels like he's a true 140 pounder and that his weight and his size and power is perfect for the division. Yeah. Maybe he'll fight for another organization. That's very possible. There are other organizations that would consider Subriel Matias the number one in their the rest, like the WBO, the WBC, would like to put that belt around him too, So I think all organizations wouldn't mind, and I think that he will bounce back. He get himself a big win and bounce back right into title contention, and I think he'll be a champion again, very much so. I think that this was a big learning experience for Subriel Matias, and like I said, all boxers are entitled to a bad night or a bad performance or overlook an opponent. That doesn't mean that that fighter is finished as a fighter. Come on, man. That's you guys. That's a big stretch there, bro. You're really gonna sit there and say that Subriel was exposed that much as a fighter that he will never win like any belt or any big fight again? That's ridiculous. That's not gonna happen. I saw Subriel Matias lose a fight before, and I saw what he did after that. I saw that. Let's see what happens. That's all I'm saying. This is up to Subriel Matias how he bounces back. But I'm fairly confident that he has the ability to bounce back. Would he, you know, let this fight fucking destroy him? I don't know. I'm not Subriel, but I don't take him for that type of guy. No. I think Subriel Matias is a fucking warrior. Yeah, and he's gonna do what a warrior's supposed to do. Bounce back. That's it. Thank you, brother. Look, I believe Subriel Matias, you know, he's gonna be himself, and he's just gonna be just fine. I don't think that this fucking fight is gonna define him as a fighter. No, I don't. Not at all. So I expect to see him back in the ring. One of you guys said that Ed Hearn said that he was gonna fight back in November. Yeah, I could see him back in the ring November-ish. Yeah. Who his opponent's gonna be? Rumored. There was a lot of names, Regis Progress being one of them. But like I said, that was when Subriel had a belt. So I don't know. Things might change. And as quiet as kept, if Liam Paro wants another big fight and a big payday, I think his biggest payday would actually be a rematch with Subriel Matias. In fact, yeah, you know, Tio, what did he make his last fight? I'll wait. Devin, he didn't sell out with Ryan Garcia, but I don't think nobody was going to expecting that fight to turn out like that. Yeah, I bet you throw that fight again, that shit will be a lot better. Because no one thought that shit. Everybody thought that it was going to be a one-sided fight. Devin Haney beating the shit out of Ryan Garcia that wasn't on his level. In fact, Ryan Garcia said, "Fuck that. I got a hack." You know what I'm saying? He's like, "I'm gonna break through all that shit," and he did. He did. He did. He did. So yeah, look, man. I expect nothing less from Subriel Matias, but let's talk about Tank Davis, right? Check this out, guys, right? Tank Davis and Frank the Ghost Martin fought in Las Vegas, right? And coming into the fight, a lot of people said a lot about Frank the Ghost Martin, that he had the ability of pulling off one of the biggest upsets. And in boxing, you know, uh, every boxer at this level has a puncher's chance. I believe that, Frank the Ghost Martin was more of a boxer puncher, rather than Tank Davis being a more slick style and a big puncher. Okay. Tank Davis, his ability to find that man's chin it was like on point. His timing, his distance management. Tank Davis was just systematically breaking and wearing him down by utilizing the high guard and trying to walk Frank back. Frank just kept punching into his gloves, but not breaking his defense. Frank was slipping punches and he was catching Tank Davis in the fight. Yeah, he was, right? But Tank Davis, his mental fortitude and ring IQ and ring generalship in a fight is fucking off the hook. And I don't think that people are really giving Tank his fucking like just dues. You think he's just going out there just throwing bombs and just happened to catch Frank the Ghost Martin and all these other guys? If you think that about Tank Davis, you gotta really start learning the sweet science, because there's a lot more going on in a Tank Davis fight than meets the eye. He's just not throwing punches. Trust me when I'm telling you. He is systematically fighting like they really do their homework over there. Calvin Ford, and you see, it's a combination between coach and fighter. Okay. The coach can only teach you and get you in shape. He can only take you so far. It's up to you to execute. It's up to you to put in practice what the very thing you worked on, to not give in to what the other guy's doing. At plan A, you have a plan A, right? And in a Tank Davis fight, it seems like they have a plan A and they have a plan B. Plan A is to execute their game plan, and plan B is to back up plan A. That's it. That's a Tank Davis fight. And listen, look, that guy knows exactly what he was doing. He had complete control of that fight, even though Frank Martin was winning some rounds. And it seemed like on some people's scorecard, Frank was up in the fight. The truth is, Frank was never up in the fight at no moment in the fight. That's the truth. Even the rounds he won, he didn't win. He was being set up the whole night. He wasn't gonna win this fight at all. And Tank knew that. Tank knew he had him beat. From the minute that bell went bing and they walked out of that first round, Tank, it was over. And like people were like, nah, Frank won so many rounds. I'm like, no, he really didn't win those rounds. He might have, yeah, won them on a scorecard. Okay, yeah. But those were just rounds. Tank Davis was applying pressure and allowing Frank the Ghost Martin to tire himself out. And he was winning the round, but he was never going to win the fight. Not like that. And actually, that was catering to Tank Davis's plan. Drag him out to deep water and drown his ass. And he did. He did exactly that. Frank the Ghost Martin never had control of that fight in actuality, and he never won a round in actuality. And that's the truth. That's the real truth. Tank had complete control in that fight. Yeah, he did. Yeah, definitely. You should be a fan, win or lose. That's a real fan. That's a real fan to Subriel Matias. If you were a fan of Subriel Matias, you should be a fan in victory and defeat. If you start saying, "Oh no, he was exposed, he was a bum, everybody was right," then you were never really a fan of his. You know, you never really. You're just going along with everybody else. You know, um, I'm a fan of boxing, so I'm a fan of every boxer. I support every boxer. Okay, so I have a wide view rather than just being a single fan of an individual boxer because I cover boxing. I'm in a different place, right? But I gotta be honest. I wouldn't shy away from my fighter. Just like my wife even said, she was like, you know what? This could be a good thing for Subriel. This could be a blessing in disguise. And you can talk about how he comes back and he rises from the ashes from this. And you see how Subriel Matias, gets his belt back from here. And I looked at her and I was like, you're right. You're right. In life, you have to take the good with the bad. Everything in life can't always work out. What happens when you have a bad day? Will you crumble? Would you fold? Would you stop doing the very thing you love because you lost or someone beat you in it? Can you not handle competition? Can a loss define you in whatever it is you do? It shouldn't, but it does in some cases. And in this sequence, hopefully, Subriel Matias takes this as a learning curve. And he realizes that at a certain point, people have film on you and they're studying your fighting style. You can't go into every fight fighting the same exact way. You're going to have to evolve. You're good the way you are. You perfected that part of your fighting style. Now it's time to evolve and implement new tools, new weapons into your arsenal, such as a jab, such as cutting the ring off better, and using these when you fight against much faster fighters, how to switch it up. You don't have to turn him into a different fighter. Just add some more weapons to his arsenal. Simple, simple enough, you know. And I believe he'll be back stronger than ever, you know. But yeah, absolutely. It might be a trilogy brewing against Liam Paro and Subriel Matias. I think Liam Paro gives him the rematch. Subriel beats him, and then we could have a trilogy. Yo, they could become rivals, big rivals here. It's a lot of money there. You know what I mean? When you got a good rival like that, it builds. So yeah, absolutely. Anybody know about this Celtic game? I was supposed to be checking out the Celtic game too. I completely forgot about that. I'm from Boston and shit, right? Let's you know what I mean? Let's see what the Celtics are doing here and get some Celtic love up in here. I could be going to another championship parade. You know what I mean? Everybody was like Celtics weren't gonna beat them in Dallas or whatever because they wanted to beat them at home and all that shit sounds good, but let's see if they can pull it off and definitely beat them at home and give the Celtics that 18th banner, and they'll have like one more banner than the Lakers. Oh shit! Boston is rocking them 72-50. Oh, they closing it. We might be going to a parade in Boston. And I bet Boston knows how to throw parades because of Tom Brady, and all of them did their part. The Celtics won in those years, Boston Red Sox, even the Bruins. We had like 13 fucking parties, like almost in a row, bro. So the city knows how to put together a party. In Boston, they like, that's Toontown. They like, they sick. They need a trophy. They like, yo, we ain't won. They don't want, that second place trophy. Nah. Mm. They became a city where that's it. It's either a trophy or nothing. And this game looks like it's going. Celtics, yo, we might be having a party up at Boston. Listen, guys. Yeah. Tony, man, judge round one by one and not based on the of the fight. That's the only fair way. You know, um, nah, because the referees had that big ass fucking boxing conference and they revealed to the public how they were judging and basing fights. And they were saying sometimes you'll see in a fight that the unofficial scorecard would say, Tony Larry will come on and say, copy box punches show that he threw a 193 punches and he landed 74 punches, right? But what the judging is saying is they don't give a fuck about how many punches he threw. They just care about how effective his punches were to the opponent. Meaning, right? This guy could have been peppering you all night with the jab, bah, 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 hitting to the body all kinds of ways, right? In the round, I mean, not all night, right? And at the closing 30 seconds of the round, you fucking punch this dude. and he wobbles and staggers and pushes back, and that's the only punch you landed the entire round. Guess who wins the round? You do. Your punch had more effect on your opponent. He punched you 30 times with a jab, and he went downstairs a few times, but you were still standing in front of him. Your one punch fucking wobbled him. You win the round. So if we're judging the fight like that, Subriel Matias's punches had more effect on Liam Paro. At the closing seconds, almost every round, Liam Paro was going pow, 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 pow into the, and I was like, up, Subriel stole the round. And apparently not. They were still giving Liam them rounds. I was like, so you're awarding Liam Paro the fight because he landed more punches? Well, then, damn it, we need to agree to one scoring system because that's not how the. No, I was like, what? Yeah, he did a lot of great work. Yeah, he was connecting to fucking Subriel. And I agree. If the fight was based on punches landed, Liam Paro won that fight. But that's not what they're telling us. And that's not how they should be judging this fight. That's not how they judge all these other fights. And then if they can't determine by effective punching, what is it? Forward aggression. That's why they awarded Teofimo Lopez that victory over Jermaine Ortiz. Jermaine Ortiz outscored Teo. He landed way more punches. But they're saying the forward aggression of Teofimo Lopez won him some of those rounds and won him the fight because he was going forward. So damn it. Fucking Matias was the one going forward. He had the forward aggression. And that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, bro, you're going to have to score these fights the same way, man. Because I could see how Matias's corner, Panda, thought he was winning the fight. Because I'm based on how they're supposed to be scoring it. Technically, Subriel should have won that fight. I'm being honest. He should have. He was hitting him the harder. His punches were more effective, clearly. But then all of a sudden they're like, nah, Liam landed more punches. We awarded him the fight. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Subriel was the forward aggressor, the harder puncher. They took away a point from Liam. How the fuck did he win? I was like, man, but man, I was just, man, I was like, nah, you can't tell us one thing and then give us that excuse of why Teofimo Lopez won that fight against Ortiz and then not do the same in this fight. Fucking Bam Bam Boogie, how you been, bro? What you doing out here cheating on other channels and shit? Yeah, I seen you, bro. You been out with other people on other web channels, bro. What's up, Boogie? Yeah, man. He was rocking them at the end of the rounds. I saw Paro like he was hurt. Then he looked like he would come out like a little Energizer bunny and shit. Listen, Bam, let me tell you something. You can't shy away and defeat neither. It stings a little bit. Yeah, it stings, but still be a Subriel Matias fan, brother. He got none to hold his head down. He's been on a remarkable run and he's been doing his thing. Just wait for him to bounce back. They're gonna, in today's age, they don't like to like respect the fighter, man, and how hard it is to do what they're doing. They quick. Let's make a meme. Let's say he's a fraud. Let's say he got exposed. No, man. These guys, they put it on. He lost the fight, a close decision fight, which I believe it was closer than what the judges scored it. The fight was a lot closer in my mind, right? Um, and he lost. He lost. All right, cool. So what? Say what you're going to say. In today's age, they want to fucking put up things, but you know what? That shouldn't bring you down as a fan, bro. They shouldn't make or break you. If you know Subriel Matias and you support him, he lost before, didn't he? What did he do after that loss? You know it, and you know what he's gonna do. Just believe in him. Believe in him as a fan, bro. I wouldn't stop supporting him. You know, uh, that's my advice. If I saw that you were supporting Subriel on my channel, and all of a sudden you came back and started saying, "Oh, he's a fraud," I'm gonna call you out on it. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna be like, you a fake ass fan, bro. You're just a fan jumper. Whoever's winning, you jump from winner to winner. Whoever losing, you don't fuck with them. That's not a fan. You're just chasing the winner just to try to look good. There's a difference between those fans and what kind of fans you guys are. Support your guy. And victory or defeat. That's what I got to say. You thought it was a draw? If anything, that's what I thought it would be. With the point deduction, how the fuck did they give Liam Paro a point deduction and in some judges' scorecards awarded him the round? You mean to tell me he was whooping Subriel Matias' ass that bad in that round that a point he just made the round even? No, no. There was no moment in the fight that happened. So clearly, Subriel should have been awarded that round. And in the scoring, they gave it to Liam. In fact, yeah, I'm trying to tell you they did. I'm trying to tell you they did. I was right there, bro. I was watching this with my own eyes. And I'm not being biased because he's Puerto Rican. I'm giving you my honest assessment. And Subriel Matias was a fucking Chinese. And I mean that in the most respect. Okay? If he was Asian and whatever, and I was calling this fight, I would say the same exact thing. I would. Because this is what the boxing associations and the referee is telling us. I cover the sport. I did articles on this shit. I read mad shit on the rule, the officiating, so that I can come here and be more educated on the rules of boxing. This is my fucking job. This is what I'm doing. And you can't say something about one fight and then judge another fight. We have to have a common ground. These judges got to be all notified and on the same page with the way they judge fights. Because to tell you the truth, I don't think what they said and read off in those scorecards matched the fight. And I'm not being biased. I don't believe those scorecards told the story. No, they didn't. Yes. Yes. By calling it a 9-9 round, that's giving the round to Liam Paro. And one judge gave it to Matias. Yes. But by them giving him a 9-9 round, bro, the judges were doing everything in their power to give these fucking rounds to Liam Paro. The referee might have been on fucking Subriel's side, but them judges were definitely fucking on Liam Paro's side. I don't know, man. Ed Hearns was going to win either way. But you stand to win more money if you can bring that belt overseas to Australia. I tell you that much. Because there wasn't a lot of fighters quickly signing up for Subriel. But there will be a lot of fighters to fight Liam Paro. And Ed Hearns knew that. And since Subriel Matias isn't really signed to Ed Hearns and Matchroom, he's only on a fight deal. Like Subriel Matias has a promoter. He's working in connection with Ed Hearns. They fought they signed the 3 fight deal, 4 fight deal, whatever it was. And that's all he is. But Liam Paro is a legit Ed Hearns Matchroom fighter. He only has one boxing promoter, Ed Hearn. So by Liam Paro winning that belt, that's Ed Hearns' belt now. If Mattia retains the belt and finishes the fights that he signed with Ed Hearn no longer has Subriel Matias. He was never his fighter, actually. He's just working in connection with a bigger promoter so that he can get the bigger fights. But Subriel Matias has his boxing promoter. Now Ed Hearns has the belt officially to himself. And he get the judging? I don't know. Did Ed Hearns set up Subriel? I don't know. Yeah, you guys saw it. You guys saw it. Paro was hurt. His corner was talking him back in the fight. And that's why I don't understand how they didn't acknowledge the power shots from Subriel Matias. And they were just awarding all these, pot shotting, grabbing, clinching, and look, I don't want to keep down talking Liam Paro, but look, I was just like, listen, we got to get this judging down to a science and what these judges are watching in these fights. You know what I mean? And that's all. That's all. I thought it was a much closer fight in my eyes. And apparently the judges didn't feel that way. So hey, yeah, he has trouble making the 10-pound rehydration claw, Devin Haney. But Devin Haney's such a sucker like that, right? He'll go back out to Australia to fight another Australian fighter, right? Liam Paro's strong though. Liam Paro's strong, but he fights right up Devin Haney's alley. Actually, a fighter such as Devin Haney would be a bad matchup for Liam Paro. It would be a bad matchup for him. I don't think um Liam Paro would beat Isa Pitbull Cruz. He would beat him. And Liam Paro would beat uh I don't know about Tio, man. Tio, he's a sucker sometimes, right? He say stupid shit, but the one thing Tio can do is fight. Tio can fight. Tio can box. And Tio's slick. He's real slick. Tio knows what he's doing in that ring, but where you can get to Tio is here, right here. If Tio stood focused and was a prime, mentally stable Teofimo Lopez, where that he didn't veer from the game plan and he studied his opponent, he didn't be like when young Tio, he would listen to the crowd and that would affect him in the fight. And like when he fought against fucking uh George Camboza, Tio for some reason couldn't get himself together and he was the more superior of the boxers and fighters in that fight. He just was kept banking on just wanting to knock this guy out and get him out of there. That he never settled into the fight. And later, I know that Tio regretted that because Tio knows he could beat fucking George Camboza. Tio knows it. and fucking he had a bad night at the office and he took a bad loss and it reflected him. And then Tio went on later to become a world champion again. Such in the case as Subriel Matias. Subriel Matias is in there, but he takes his losses better than Tio. Way better. With way better class, respect to his opponent. He didn't make any excuses. He said he was the better man tonight and on to the next. That's it. And he showed real class, in his defeat as well. He likes to his wins, and he took it on the chin as a man in defeat. And that's all I can say about Subriel Matias. You know, but do I? What do I see for Liam Paro next? I see Liam Paro fighting a relatively unknown fighter. A guy that maybe was a former world champion or something. Maybe he might fight like a Sandor Martin. You know, uh, who knows? Who knows what's in line for him? But you know, um, you would like to start mentioning Ryan Garcia's name in this, but until Ryan Garcia gets all out of these court situations and these court cases, uh, there's no need to bring him up. That kid got enough problems right now. So, and we can't just keep talking about all the champions because there's a lot more people in the 140-pound weight division that are really starting to show that they want their cracks at these world titles. Regis Progress might be just that opponent for Liam Paro. It might, instead of Subriel Matias fighting him, Regis Progress could fight Liam Paro in Australia. And that would be a good fight for Liam Paro. I believe Liam Paro will beat Regis Progress. And I think he will. And that would be a great homecoming. Regis Progress has a fairly big name as well. Two-time 140-pound champion of the world. That would be an interesting fight. And I believe that Subriel Matias and the Russell kid, they should fight. That would be, and they should fight on the same card as the Liam Paro fight. Be like the co-main event. And then when he beats Russell, he can verbally challenge Liam Paro. Tell him, I gave you a shot. Give me a shot. Hopefully, Liam Paro honors that and gives him a shot. Who knows? You know? No, no, Bam Bam. I looked into it and I talked about it in the beginning of this video that that's where I believe Team Matias' management fumbled the bag. That's where it shows that I believe they were overly confident in the fight, that they didn't feel that a rematch clause was necessary in the contract. And I think Ed Hearn set that up, and he didn't speak up. He was like, "Oh, you don't want no rematch clause? Okay, done deal. All right." And now Liam Paro won the fight, and he's walking off with his belt, and he can't get a rematch. That should have been in the contract by your management. Subriel Matias doesn't handle that part. He works on the fighting. His management could have noticed that and been like, yo, nah, but we're going to protect our fighter. We think he's going to win, but just in case, we're going to put in a rematch clause. And there was no rematch clause put in for Liam Paro and Subriel Matias, which I find that fucking like ironic. Like what? There's no rematch. There was no what? I think that was a big mistake. You know. Mm. Yeah. He doesn't deserve a title shot from the WBC. But the IBF organization is a separate organization or separate sanctioning body. And if Liam Paro picks Regis Progress and says, "Yeah, I'll fight you," then whether he deserves it or not, he could get that fight. You know, he could get it. So yeah. What's up, Frontline? How you doing? What's up, chat? Everybody joining the live chat. What's up, guys? Listen, guys, it's okay. It is okay. All right. Subriel Matias will be back
Another one.
with another one. Okay. Don't worry about it. All right. Shit's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be all right. All right. He's gonna come back stronger than ever. I just know it. Um, we'll see who they choose for him in November. But listen, fight fans, we've been up chopping it up for a little about while. I'm back. Everything's gonna get back into the flow of things. We're gonna be going on just like we always do, 8:30 ish. So look for me around those times. I usually take Mondays off, and I'll stream like a live stream every day. I'm gonna lock in. I have a lot of content from Puerto Rico. Yeah, I had a great time and an amazing time out there. I celebrated my 50th birthday out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking too bad. You know what I'm saying? You know, your boy's still holding together. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm making 50 look real good right now. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people tell me I look better. I'm like, thank you. Thank you very much. I've been working on my tan. You know what I mean? So, uh, I had an amazing time out there. I got to meet a lot of fighters, and I saw a lot of world champions um, win titles that night. Uh, Damn, I want to show you guys the pictures, but I don't want to take off the Celtics game either because they spanking these dudes. But I promise you guys, I'm gonna make edit a video, and it's not gonna be a live; it'll just be a video, and I'm gonna put up all the pictures and talk about my experience in Puerto Rico. I also went up to the fort that they made and the mojo and um, they have like these little like towers where like lookout towers, and me and my girl we were in it, and it was a real cool experience, and we took in the culture. I learned about Puerto Rican flags. There was a flag, in fact, that either I forgot about or I just don't remember. It was like the original flag. It was the white one with like the red. It was like an X like this. It looked like barbed wire, right? And I guess that was the original Puerto Rican flag. They have like four flags. They have this flag, which is the one we know today, right? They have the other one where they had like a light sky blue. They had like it was the blue was like a sky blue. It wasn't like this dark. It was like that, like that. That's exactly what it was. So that's the flag that I thought was our original Puerto Rican flag. And in fact, it's not. I learned that on my trip. It's always good to learn about your roots and your heritage, no matter where you're from. It's good to know who your people are, right? So I learned that, the white one with the barbed wire was the original one. And then they have a black and white flag where all the color on the flag is just in black and white, and that to commemorate their struggle, you know, on the island and stuff. That black flag. So they have like historically like four flags, And this is the one that we came to know today, which is the more popular of all the flags. Yeah. So it was very cool. A great experience. I traveled a lot. I went to Old San Juan, a lot of places. I went to a lot of places. I got the magazine, like I showed you guys. Um, I'm going out tomorrow, in fact, to get a frame for the magazine, and I'm gonna put it up somewhere around here and stuff. Yeah, man, and I met a lot of good boxers. I met Ed Hearn and a lot of guys at the fight, and well, I'll do a video about it, and I'll share more with you guys. But fight fans, listen, listen, I love you guys and all your comments. Uh, I'm still like a little jet lag from this whole thing, but I'm gonna get back into everything, and I'm gonna be going out to some more fights. In fact, I will be going out to Philly to cover the Ron Boots Ennis. So stay with me. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, like the videos, and I'm gonna be coming and really stepping up everything here, and we'll talk about it. So tune in tomorrow, 8:30, and let's all get in here together, and we could all start from the beginning and talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. All right, because it seems like some of us got in here later than others, and I was having a real bad problem with this stream. I was losing it, getting cut off, and so forth and so forth. But we got to work what we got to work with. Plus, I want to watch the rest of the Celtic game just in case we partying. All right, fight fans, listen, I'll be back with,
Another one.
you know it. You know what I mean? Here at Round One Sports Talk. I love you guys. You guys have been amazing. I'm your host, Edwin. Please don't forget to like the videos, and I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One